In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. In the last episode, we learned about the virtues of praying 5 times a day. And what is the meaning of the daily prayer? And what is the meaning of the divine heart? We discussed this in detail. Today we will learn about how to perform salat or prayer and whether the prayer will lead to Meraj for the believers. Just as one cannot taste or enjoy a thing without eating it, in the same way, one cannot truly understand the essence of these practices unless one learns from the Guru of the order and enters into it. The second hadith states that during prayer, one should understand that one is seeing God. If one is unable to see Him, one should understand that He is seeing one. At this point, it is important to consider that it is His duty to keep an eye on His creation. If the Creator's eye is not on the creation, the creation will never be saved. Therefore, it must be understood that the eye of Allah Almighty remains the same. Our duty now is to not be complacent and instead focus on the best, sincere effort to complete the task, according to the first part of the Hadith Sharif. But how will that be accomplished? When we are not able to see the created air, how will we see the Creator? That vision will never be accomplished without the help of the Tariqa within the Sharia. Now, I ask a person who considers the manifest Sharia, other than the Tariqa, as the complete Sharia, how he will see God Almighty in prayer. If you say that God Almighty is present before you as a form of infinite consciousness, brothers, if you consider this point, you will understand that He is the one who has no power to conceive. How can one see Him who has no likeness, who is invisible? This is like making a laddu with the wind. It is understood that the formless race is also conceived in the same way as the idea of that laddu. If you say, I will contemplate all creation in my mind and infer its creator, then the question of tashahhud will be based on that inference, that is, while praying, intentionally focusing on the shapes and forms of all those objects and moving about them in the mind is considered impure by everyone. Therefore, by abandoning the Tariqa, the prayer will never be perfected in the written meaning of the Hadith Sharif. Even if some of the wise men of the path are not able to gaze upon the sun for that purpose, they will never be deprived of the vision of its rays, the form of light. In the third hadith, it is written, Achalatu Marahul Mamanin, meaning, prayer is like the ascension for the believers. Just as the Holy Prophet, Pbuh, ascended to the Arshi Meraj, the great throne, and saw God, similarly, the prayer of the believer will reveal the place of seeing God. And the essence of the first part of the second hadith is to understand this vision. If we consider this place, it can be clearly understood what a great thing prayer is. What other thing is there in which one can attain the vision of God Almighty? Prayer is a commandment of the Sharia. If it is performed in accordance with the complete, prescribed manner, the fruit of God, vision, the essence of the marfat, will certainly be attained. But that prayer will never be completed without the help of the Tariqa and Haqiqat. If God could be seen only in public prayer, then only the person praying would be able to see God. But in practice, that is never seen. Therefore, a Sharia that is different from Tariqat and Haqiqat can never attain perfection. It is a delusion to consider the manifest Sharia as perfect, that is, complete. If Kamal follows the path of Sharia, following the teachings of the Ashab, companions disciplined by the tradition of the learned Purs. If any Kamal follows his own wisdom contrary to the advice of the Mokammal Nadarsik, he will fall into the pit of Satan and lose his life. Even if one is a great scholar and intelligent person, one will never be able to follow this path and the path of truth without the guidance of a guru. In this regard, Maulana Rumi, may Allah have mercy on him, in the last part of the 5th book of his own book Mashnabi, Enam Fakhruddin Raji, author of Tafsir Kabir and a contemporary Enam in knowledge and wisdom, Sahib. He has already indicated that if intellect had been the guide on this path, then Fakhruddin, may Allah have mercy on him, would certainly have understood the essence of the day. But when someone does not eat something, they cannot know its taste. At that time, Enam Fakhruddin, may Allah have mercy on him, Sahib's wisdom and consideration on this matter only increased the incompetence and harassment. That's all for today. You are all invited to watch the next episode. Until then, everyone be well. See you again in the next episode. Allah is the protector.